Good morning, my dear students. Hope that by the grace of Almighty, all of you are fine. Welcome to all of you to this video lecture. I am Manojit Kumar Bishwas, Assistant Professor, Department of Accounting, Milestone College, Uttara Dhaka. My dear students, time and tide wait for none. So you should practice continuously. Okay, dear students. Now let's go. My dear students, today I want to solve a very important math from chapter number 5, that is financial statement of joint stock company. Comilla Board 2019, math number 1. My dear students, let's go to see the math. At first, purchase, it's one kind of direct expense, building, fixed assets, machineries, fixed assets, opening stock of goods, direct expense, accounts receivable, current assets, office equipment, fixed assets, salary, operating expense, advertisement, operating expense, wages, direct expense, carries outward, operating expense, office rent, operating expense, cash in hand and bank balance, current assets, leasehold property, fixed assets, and income tax will be shown in retained earnings statement under profit appropriations. Okay, dear students. Now, sales, direct revenues, accounts payable, current liability, loan, long-term liability, bad debt reserve will be added to bad debt expenses in comprehensive income statement under operating expenses. General reserve, shareholders equity, income tax reserve will be shown in retained earnings statement. Share capital, shareholders equity. Okay, dear students. Now some adjustments. Closing stock of goods value taka 2,20,000 taka and it included sold goods 20,000 taka. My dear students, we know that closing stock means unsold goods, but it included sold goods. So sold goods will be deducted from closing stock. Okay, dear students. Reserve for bad debt is to be created at the rate of 5% on accounts receivable. My dear students, these types of reserve for bad debt is called new reserve for bad debt. So it will be added to bad debt expenses in comprehensive income statement under operating expenses, and second time this amount will be deducted from accounts receivable in the statement of financial position. Okay, dear students. Now taka 15,000 is to be transferred to general reserve fund. My dear students, this type of expenses is called irregular expenses. My dear students, we know that which expenses depends on net profit or loss, that is called irregular expenses. Okay, dear students. So it will be shown in retained earnings statement under profit appropriations, and second time it will be added to general reserve fund in the statement of financial position under reserve and surpluses. Number 4, depreciation is to be charged on building and on machineries at the rate of 10% and 5% respectively. My dear students, we know that depreciation is one kind of operating expenses. So it will be shown in comprehensive income statement under operating expenses, and second time this depreciation will be deducted from related fixed assets in the statement of financial position under fixed assets. Okay, dear students. Now dividend is to be declared at the rate of 10% on paid up capital. My dear students, we know that dividend is to be calculated on paid up capital, and it's one kind of irregular expenses, so it will be shown in the statement of retained earnings under profit appropriations, and second time it will be shown as current liability, namely dividend payable in the statement of financial position. Okay, dear students. Now requirements. Requirement A, determine the amount of cost of goods sold. Requirement B, determine the net profit or net loss assuming gross profit taka 5,15,000. And requirement C, prepare a statement of shareholders equity. Okay, dear students. Now let's go to solve the math. Now solution. Requirement A, calculation the amount of cost of goods sold. My dear students, we know that cost of goods sold is equal to opening stock plus net purchase plus other direct expenses minus closing stock. So opening stock of goods here 2 lakh taka, add net purchase 5 lakh 35,000 taka, add other direct expenses here only wages 1 lakh 50,000 taka. So total 8 lakh 85,000 taka. This is called goods available for sale minus closing stock 2 lakh 20,000 taka minus sold goods or undelivered goods 20,000 taka. So net closing stock 2 lakh taka. That is 8 lakh 85,000 taka minus 2 lakh taka. So 6 lakh 85,000 taka. This is called cost of goods sold. Okay, dear students. Now requirement B, that is comprehensive income statement. My dear students, we know that through comprehensive income statement we can know total 3 results. Number 1, gross profit. Second, operating profit or loss. Third, net profit or net loss. Okay, dear students. However, from the question, gross profit 5 lakh 15,000 taka. Add indirect operating incomes 0 taka. Less indirect operating expenses here, salary 70,000 taka, advertisement 25,000 taka, carries outward 10,000 taka, office rent 45,000 taka, leasehold property return of 6,000 taka, bad debt expenses 10,250 taka minus old provision for bad debt 10,000 taka, that is 250 taka. Now depreciation on building 12,500 taka and on machineries 35,000 taka. Total depreciation 47,500 taka. Okay, dear students. Now total indirect operating expenses 2 lakh 3,750 taka. Now 5 lakh 15,000 minus 2 lakh 3,750 taka. So net profit 3 lakh 11,250 taka. Okay, dear students. Now requirement C, that is shareholders equity statement. My dear students, we know that shareholders equity statement will be started with opening balance of here share capital 6 lakh taka, reserve fund 25,000 taka, retained earnings 0 taka. So total 6 lakh 25,000 taka. Add current year net profit from requirement B will be shown at first retained earnings column 3,11,250 taka, and it also be shown in total amount column 3,11,250 taka. Okay, dear students. Now income tax will be deducted from retained earnings column 10,000 taka. It also be deducted from total amount column 10,000 taka. Now income tax reserve will be added to retained earnings column 8,000 taka, and it also be added to total amount column 8,000 taka. Now net profit transfer to general reserve. So it will be added to general reserve fund and it will be deducted from retained earnings column 15,000 taka. Now proposed dividend, it will be deducted from retained earnings column and it also be deducted from total amount column. Okay, dear students. Now total share capital 6 lakh taka, total reserve fund 40,000 taka, total retained earnings 2,34,250 taka, and total amount column, that is closing balance 8,74,250 taka. Okay, dear students, I hope that you are clearly understood. If any problem, contact to your respective teacher. Thank you so much, my dear students.